Hey everybody, Crystal Kitsune here, and today we are going to play a throwback Nintendo Game Boy game. This game is called Wario Land. Came out in 1993. It is not really a sequel to Super Mario or Super Mario Land 2, Six Golden Coins. Basically, you play as Wario, and you go through and uh, beat things. Basically, you shift into things, as I'll show you. We're gonna do a new game because I've already played some of this game already. Um, as you can see by the file being 15, saying 15 on it. But anyway, so you start off at Rice Beach, and everything is like food associated. So like Rice Beach, and then you'll go to another food related place, and then yeah, you'll see. If we get that far. We're not gonna get too far today because I only do these very short bursts. But you jump just like regular Mario. You got these guys, and they're kind of like the Goombas, but they're not hostile. Like, I mean, the ones with the points on them, they are, but these guys, that you run into them and they just die. They kind of play possum. And you do this with your other key, because okay, so X key is to jump, Z key is to, lunge forward, and you send them packing. You can also do this, and shoot them into each other, which will auto kill them. But there's a lot of blocks and stuff in this game, and you break blocks and you get power-ups. This is a garlic power-up, and when you do that, it gives you horns. And you can hold on to things that are stationary like that, blocks. And I think your lasts longer. Your shift, or your whatever you want to call that. Charge, that's what I'm trying to think of. Charge is a little bit longer, more aggressive. You can also do a ground pound, which will break blocks as well that are over you. I'm not going to be playing this game to the end, for the simple fact that I have not gotten past a certain level in this game that is a pain in the ass. I've had a problem with it even like today, as in like the last time I played this game, which was like a month ago or something. But for myself, I was playing this game for myself, for nostalgia's sake. But I couldn't get past that level. And basically, what it is, it's in the fire level, which is like an oven. It's based in an oven or whatever. And there is a wall of flame that continually follows behind you and will kill you instantly if it hits you. So basically, you have to get through the level without the fire hitting you as it, comes towards you. So it comes from like comes from this side and goes like this. It always stays about like here, like here-ish, and you have to kind of like navigate and get like quickly through certain areas without it killing you, essentially. Another thing is that these checkpoints, this is the end of the game, but the coins that you earn in this game, you go up and you go like that, and that will present a coin, and then you usually unlock the doors with the coins. But since we did have the door locked on already, we don't have to worry about that. You can also do that with the book or middle of the stage, like checkpoints. They'll have them in there. And these are two games. I don't play them because they're just like gambling things, and I don't really gamble on games like this. For the simple fact that I usually end up losing. And this spot here, this tells you how much gold you have, and this here is your treasure. There are also treasures in this game. That's like an extra additional thing that you can do to get gold and stuff. Or I'm not quite sure what the treasure does, to be honest. I haven't really played this game that much. But we'll at least play through the first couple levels here. There are some other power-ups that you'll see. I'm gonna take this off the screen. There is a jet one that when you hit the button, it will send you flying for a short period of time. Then you also have the dragon breath one, which will send dragon breath to break blocks and kill enemies and all that kind of stuff. I think it's here? No, okay. I was gonna say it was gonna be on this one. There, this is the jet. You put the jet on, and it makes you walk faster, and it also lets you do that. And you can stop at any time, because these things will fuck you up. But, yeah. Neat little game. I got it a while after I got the first one. Like the Mario game. And, I basically just played it until I couldn't play it anymore. And that was like that one level. I think I might have gotten past that one level once. And I was able to get to the next section. Well, here's the dragon one. When you do that, you get a little dragon helmet, and the flames come out the nose and like kills these guys. There are some hidden secrets in this game. Like, you have to get to certain places in the excuse me, you have to get to certain places in the game, and I need to get some more coins. That's why I'm coming back this way. Because the coins take 10 out of your already whatever your list down here. So I need to get a few more so I can actually get out of this level. That's the only bad thing about this particular game, is that you have to get the coins in order to leave the level. So that's kind of dumb, but I guess it gives you a little extra whatever that you actually have to have X amount of coins in order to get out of this level. So the first couple levels are like super easy. You just have to, you know, play through like usual. I'm sorry this is boring. I'm sure it's probably super boring. But this game here, I had fun with it. I actually had my cousin do that one level once, and he couldn't even beat it, like the first couple times. Which is kind of unusual for him, because he was like a video game person. He was the kind of person that was like, had like he was the cousin that I think I mentioned before that I did, he had a Super NES. He had a Super NES, and he wanted me to play a game with him. And I had no experience with a Nintendo Nintendo NES before that. So that's what he was counting on, was my inexperience of the Super NES, and that he was going to beat me at this game that he wanted to play. And the game that he wanted me to play was, if you heard this story before, I'm sorry that I'm telling it again, but he wanted us to play Street Fighter. I don't know which Street Fighter it was, or whatever. I just know that it was a Street Fighter game. for the NES. Okay, so here's the thingy that you can do to, you can put a coin into, and it will save your progress. So if you die, you come back here. You don't go to where at the beginning again. Okay, so my cousin had the Super NES, and he wanted to play, you know, the game with me, and I'm like, I don't know how to play this game, and that's what he was betting on. And so I was like, okay, fine, but like, it's gonna be like no contest, you know, of who's gonna win and whatnot. So we start playing and everything like that, and I watch him like do all these combo moves and junk with his controller, and I just start button mashing. Like, I'm just like not even knowing what the combos are. And for if you don't know, Street Fighter is a series of a game. I mean, I'm sure you probably heard of it because it's super popular and it's been out for forever. But Street Fighter is a PvP fighting game where you choose your fighter and you know, play that person, and each person has a distinct, you know, name, look, and has attacks, special attacks and stuff. So there's like girls and guys, and each one has its own characteristic. So I just like chose a random person, and I started fighting, and he's doing like all these combo attacks with like the A's and the up down arrows and A B up down whatever, and I'm like watching him. I'm like, okay, so I just start, you know, mashing buttons, and I'm like, I had no freaking idea what I was doing, but I beat him. And oh, this is one of the ones I hate because it's kind of similar to the one that I don't like, but it's just the guy that's behind you, that's, you know, following behind. It's still annoying because you have to charge into these rocks before this kind of looks like a swamp, but I don't know what they're called in this game particularly, but you have to ride him once he gets out of the hole. So I made it from that, but I'm not quite done with the level yet. And this is where things start getting a little dicey, I guess you could say, because that water down there that's beneath me is insta-kill water. So basically, if I jump off this guy, I'm dead. And I still need to ride this guy through the level and, you know, not die in the process. Because this guy, he's going to... Okay, so I lied, I have a little bit more to do. But I have to do it before he gets too close, because if he hits me, I'm dead. Okay. Made it. That's the end of that part. Now I just have to do the rest. Yeah, they're like swamps, or not swamps, what, I don't know what these things are called. I guess they're swamps? I don't know. But anyway, they're in that game. And that one wasn't too hard. I got through it the first time. Most of the games that I've played like this takes me a couple times to figure out, like, okay, how do I do this? I was the same way with the Lion King game for Game Gear. I remember back when I was in school, I was still in private school at the time. And I got a Game Gear for Christmas. And it was cool because, you know, the only other handheld that I had was a Game Boy, or I think it was still Game Boy back then. And of course I got like a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance and whatnot as well. But I never really had a console until N64. That was my first console. And so back when this game was out, or the Game Gear was out, I played the Game Gear game. I had a few games for the Game Gear. I had like the Lion King. I also had a Chaos Emeralds Sonic game, and I had, what else did I have? I didn't have very many games, because I don't know, I just kept playing the same ones over and over again. But anyway, so like the Lion King, the first couple of you know, games are, their levels are pretty simple. You start off as Simba, young Simba, and you go through the Pride Lands, and then you end up like in you know, you basically do like the whole movie in various different levels. And now we're coming up to a boss here. So how to kill this stupid fucker. Nope. I forgot how to find him. I'm probably not gonna get him the first time. There, that's the first one. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get it. But basically, the first levels are easy because you're in the Pride Lands and you're just going through the different levels and stuff like that. Then it just progressively gets harder as you go on. And one of the hard levels that we had a problem with, and my grandmother played this game too, by the way. So like, when I was still in elementary school, like I was playing this game up until I had to go to school. And then she'd play it when I was at school. So the one level that we had, actually the two levels that we had the hardest time was the wildebeest stampede, and then we had the jungle one, which comes right after the stampede. And the jungle one was like just a series of like slides and stuff like that, like water slides that you had to remember, like where, damn it, like a series of water slides that you had to remember. You had to remember where to go on the water slides. But the stampede one, it seemed like it was random. Like the wildebeests go across this, or it's like a side-scrolling version of the stampede, and you have to jump on ledges to get to where you want to go. But sometimes you have to be on the ground in order to get to the next ledge and be safe. And sometimes you have to jump on the back of the wildebeest in order to do that, but you have to time it just right, because if you don't, then you end up falling on the ground and then they'll come after you and then you die. So we were having a heck of a time trying to figure out what that was, what the, you know, process was. And it actually is pretty simple, because like when you're looking at it, it's actually like a series of, it cycles through. So it's like a series of 3 wildebeests, then a gap, and then like 1, then a gap, and then like 4, and then a gap, and then it just repeats that particular cycle. So you can kind of gauge like how you're gonna do this and how much time you have. I might try to figure out how to play that particular game on this channel, because that was another staple of my childhood, was that particular Game Gear game. I didn't, like I said, I didn't have too many other games. I had just had, you know, Chaos Emeralds, which was the Sonic game, and I had a couple of other ones that were, oh, I had Bust a Move, which I have played on this channel before, and I've played, that's the only one I did for Game Gear, but I have played on a Game Gear game on this channel, so I might try to find, that particular game and get the Game Gear emulator and play that, because it's a fun little game. I could probably beat it in a couple episodes, because I should remember from memory like how the game goes and everything. So anyway, that's gonna be it for the. I tried doing this boss and I can't like talk and concentrate at the same time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this video here. I might come back to this video and the boss will already be beaten, so you don't have to worry about watching me try and fail multiple times. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And well, just clicked out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed me playing nostalgic games. I like playing nostalgic games kind of more than the newer games, because the nostalgic games I know more and can get more into. With the newer games, I mean, they're fun, but sometimes it gets kind of, you know, sketchy when it comes to things that I'm not quite sure about. And I don't want to look like an idiot playing, you know, games I don't really know. So, I mean, trial and error stuff can be kind of fun, but it can also be kind of cringy. So, at least this game, I try to know what I'm doing when I play most of these games. But anyway, thanks again so much for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next video. That's not my outro, but I'll see you again next time. Goodbye, everybody.